Hey everybody, thanks for coming back to our channel. It's Ty with Montana Outlaw BBQ. Today, we had a special request from a YouTube follower, Orlando Nelson. Thank you for commenting. He wanted to see how we do pork belly, so we're gonna break it down for you. Let's go. All right, so let's talk a little bit about our pork belly that we're going to be using today. Typically, you know, your pork belly, when you get it out of the package, is going to be about twice as big as this. We went ahead and cut this one in half because it does make a lot when you make it. So you can freeze that, repurpose it, however you guys want to do it. So let's work on half of it. The nice thing about pork belly like this is there's no trimming that we really need to do on it, right? It's bacon. So as we look at it on the cross section, right here, you can see that this is what's gonna make your bacon. So if you're gonna do a cured bacon or something like that, you would just take this, put it into your cure, and go from there, and then you could slow smoke it if you wanted to do smoke or pepper bacon over the top of it. But for today, we're just gonna be smoking this thing. We're gonna season it by seasoning it with a heavy salt rub like our pork rub. It's gonna do a quick cure on it, nothing too serious. We're gonna hit it with a little pork rub. We're gonna hit it with some Cosmos products, some Honey Killer Bee, and then we're gonna let that sit for about 45 minutes to an hour so it can work its way in and that salt can interact with the fat content because it is really fatty cut of meat. If you wanna see more about how we apply our pork rubs, make sure you go back, check out our How to Apply Pork Rubs. We talk about a range of different cuts. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that we're gonna put on is obviously the Montana Outlaw pork rub. So with that, we're just gonna go ahead. You're gonna wanna put on a good medium to medium heavy coat. Make sure you're covering all parts of it evenly. Again, using that method of kind of 6 inches above the product. Helps get good and dispersed out. We want to make sure we're good and covered. And we're going to come back and we're going to hit it with a little Cosmos Honey Killer Bee. We want to use this. It's got a good amount of honey in it. It's going to be a sweetness to it. It's going to make it really nice for anything that we want to do. This one, you're going to go more light. We don't need a lot of this on top. We're going to do that. Just go ahead and tap that in. And then you repeat the process on the back. What I like to do too is just take our pork rub, tip it up. We don't need to do the Cosmos on these sides, but go ahead and get your edges. So that way we get a good bark all the way around. Like that. And we're gonna go ahead and repeat this process on the back side. You guys don't need to see it, it's exactly the same process, but we have the back side, the fatty part. Again, we're gonna cook this at about 300 degrees. It's gonna take about 2.5 to 3 hours to render out to where we like it. From that point, it's very versatile in what you wanna do with it. For today's cook on this pork belly, we're gonna be looking at it as something that we're gonna take and fry, crisp up, use it kind of like a bacon. So a BLT with a nice thick cut. A chicken Malibu sandwich with a nice thick cut. At that point, you could chunk it into your cubes, do your pork belly burn-ins with it on there. We can talk more about it when we get to that point. But we're really looking to just get this thing cooked out, rendered out, to a point where you could use it for a whole range of products, a whole range of things. We'll talk more about those. At this point, go out and get your grill going. We're gonna get our gateway drum going with some Royal Oak charcoal, 275 to 300 degrees, and we're gonna get this thing on there for about 2.5 to 3 hours. Okay, so we've been 45 minutes to an hour, right in that ballpark. You can see the moisture of this meat starting to come out, interact with the rubs that we put on there. It's starting to pool up here. That's exactly what we want to see. is that when I know it's ready to go on the grill. We're gonna spritz this a little bit throughout the cook, but not a lot. We want it to naturally render out all that fat, so having good interaction allows the salt of that rub to penetrate, interact, get some depth in there. Our grill is hot. Again, we're using the Gateway drum, Royal Oak charcoal. It's running at 300 degrees. We're gonna put it on there about 2.5 to 3 hours. We're looking for color, we're looking for temperature, and then we're gonna slice this thing up, and we're gonna slice it bacon style. You can put it in the fridge, you can put it in the freezer, use it for breakfast, use it for a whole host of things. You can chunk it up, do your pork belly burn ends out of it, but for now, let's get it on the grill. I'm gonna go put it on out there, and we'll come right back with it finished through 2.5, 3 hours. Okay, so we've got our pork belly here. It cooked for just over 2 hours, just shy of 2.5 hours. The thing looks beautiful. The Royal Oak charcoal, the combination of the rubs, everything's on there. We pulled this at 202 degrees. Should be good texture-wise to eat as is if you just wanted to eat it. Let's talk about a couple of things that we could do with it at this point. We could leave it as is, slice it off, use it like bacon for your morning breakfast, bacon on a BLT sandwich, anything like that. You could cube this up at this point, toss it with some brown sugar, butter, barbecue sauce, and do some pork belly burn ends, render it just a little bit more. You could slice it up and you could put it right on a sandwich right now without doing anything. So just for that case, let's go ahead and I'll slice it down the middle. I'll show you what we got here when we cut it open. It's gonna give off something that appears much like bacon. So you can see as we look across that, we're getting some decent smoke penetration. You can see there, that nice pink color. We've rendered out a lot of that fat. I mean, you can see the juice just running out of that. So juicy. We didn't wrap this at all throughout the cooking process. It stayed open the whole time. So I'm gonna go ahead and slice some of this off, just like you would a nice slice of bacon. And again, at this point, you can take that, throw it on a flat top and crisp it up just like bacon. Man, it would go good on sandwiches. But let's go ahead and try this. You can see it just tears apart like a brisket, nice and tender. I mean, come on guys. This is such a simple way to take pork belly and slice it up. You can have this as a meal. I mean, this is just ridiculously good. Make sure you follow along because we're gonna show you a lot of fun ways. We're gonna have some videos either coming up or already out there. We're gonna show you some fun ways to utilize this now that it's cooked. We're gonna have a lobster video where we do something with this on the lobster. We're gonna incorporate this into our biscuits and gravy. And just a lot of fun stuff that you can do with it. But for those that were just wondering how we cook it, if I was just gonna cook it, this is just incredibly simple, incredibly easy, and so damn delicious. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna finish that up. This is Tyler with Montana Outlaw BBQ. Thank you all our fans for coming along. Make sure you go check out all our videos, hit the links, watch it, go to our socials. We're on there all the time. We wanna hear from you. This one came to us from a user suggestion. Keep them coming. We wanna hear what you want us to make. Thanks again. Enjoy.